Let's Talk Oculus is brought to you by, well, you. If you want to know how to support the show, go to patreon.com/playtestvr. Greetings everybody, I'm Dan from Playtest VR.
And I'm Samson from Spreading VR.
And welcome to episode 1 of our brand new podcast called Let's Talk Oculus. Now, me and Samson had lots of fun in the prediction episode last week, so we decided to make this more of like a regular thing. So before we get into the show and the topic of discussion, Samson, do you want to tell the people, who the hell are you?
Yeah, sure. Well, as you know, my name is Samson. I currently work at a high school, and I absolutely love VR. A little bit about my VR history is my first headset was in Quest 1. I bought it Black Friday 2019, and my first ever experience within VR was within Samsung Gear VR. And my favorite games are Synth Riders, VR Chat, Rec Room, and Walkabout Mini Golf. I mostly play standalone Quest, but I do subscribe to Shadow PC, and that's how I get my PC VR in. And really, the thing I love most to do in VR is connect and reconnect with my IRL friends. And yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah, 100%. And I'm Dan, if you don't know, from Playtest VR, the channel that you're watching. So I've had this channel for around 6 months now, and it's all about everything all Oculus. And to just play on what Samson was talking about there, my first VR headset was actually the PlayStation VR. And my first proper game that I played in it, and still my favorite game to this day, is Resident Evil 7 VR. Even though that wasn't like a true VR experience, gosh, that game was so good. That game was so good. And right now, I just play on the Oculus Quest 2 and a few games on the PC VR. My favorite games to play right now are Pistol Whip, Synth Riders, just like what Samson said. And I'd say The Walking Dead, The Saints and Sinners is probably my other standout. Especially, Walkabout. How can I forget about Walkabout? You know, fantastic. But that's us. So before we get into the show, I just want to tell you what the show is going to be about. Now, this is going to be predominantly an Oculus show. However, if you don't have an Oculus Quest, or if you're not a fan of Oculus in general, it doesn't matter. Still stick around, because in the end of the day, this is all about VR. This is a VR channel, so you're still going to be entertained. You're still going to bring value to the show with any questions that you have, even if it's not about Oculus. We'll still cover it, but just to let you know that we are going to be focused on that Oculus stuff. So, and to support the channel, to support this podcast, we do have a Patreon page at patreon.com/playtestvr. So that Patreon page starts at just $1. Any dollar helps to supporting this channel. So you can head on to there. All the links are in the description. Now, without that out of the way, let's get into the show. And we're going to be talking about the Oculus Gaming Showcase that came out last week. So let's start off with our overall thoughts. Samson, what did you think of this show? I heard mixed responses. Some people thought it was disappointing, and some people thought it was all right. What do you think?
Well, I'd say during and just after the event, I was a little disappointed, and I felt a little meh about it. But honestly, I think my predictions and I let my imagination get the best of me, and I thought too big, because really we did get some good game highlights. The thing is that some of the games I just don't play, like The Climb 2, and Walking Dead. Those are two games that I don't really play, so the DLCs and the free DLCs for them just don't really appeal to me. But I mean, I'm definitely excited. I'm excited for the co-op from Warhammer. That's a game I've never checked out, but as you know now, I love the co-op. I love playing with my IRL friends, and if I can do it in that game, I'll give it a whirl.
Yeah, 100%. I think just to bounce on that point, I think was what VR is all about, is the co-op games. So I was definitely happy to see that, and we'll dive more into the Warhammer co-op and other games that didn't get co-op as well that we thought they were going to get. But if any of you guys saw my reactions video last week that I posted when I was watching the show live, my thoughts haven't really changed. I still think it was a solid show. I kind of feel you, Samson, in a way where, you know, we had that predictions episode where we had all the different people from the VR space giving their number one prediction or a couple predictions. And I think all of us, like everyone in the community, was thinking big. You know, is massive because it was the first time. We had no idea what to expect. Is it going to be as big as something like an E3 event, or is it going to be as small as something like a Nintendo Direct or such? So I think it was more the latter, and I thought it was solid, but I can see with the hype the reason why some people are disappointed. But like what we'll get into in a minute, we're going to go through the full breakdown of what we saw, and I think once we go through that full breakdown, we'll see that it's actually a solid list. I'm just disappointed that we didn't see any Sniper Elite VR, but we'll talk about what we thought was missing a little later on. So with that, let's go into the first game that was announced, and that was Pistol Whip Smoke and Thunder, the DLC. Now, you actually predicted this, didn't you, Samson?
I did. It was not necessarily a bold prediction, as they had dropped many hints, but I I slid in a safe prediction, and it came true, and I am looking forward to it. I do wish, I mean, I'll probably say this is like my thing for all of them. I wish we got like some sort of release date other than summer, but yeah, I'm looking forward to this. It looks pretty sweet.
Well, that was the same with most of them, to be honest. They were all like either summer or just later this year, and it didn't really give us any. I think that was probably one of my biggest disappointments, actually, that we didn't have any concrete release dates. But I'm super excited with this. They announced it's going to come alongside the concierge system, which is basically you have different like customization options in Pistol Whip with modifiers, but if you've played Pistol Whip's storyline, you'll see that some of the game modes in the story are completely different. Like there's one where you can go in, your gun doesn't work, and you're just all out fighting, you know. And these customizations that now is going to come to the game. So you can have no guns, you can have burst pistols, like you do have in the 2089 as well. They say that the customizations are endless for any level, so I'm interested to see that aspect of it. But yeah, what I was going to say, Samson, I don't know if you caught on to this, but when they said the smoke and thunder, they also mentioned that it was the tale of two sisters. Is that a hint for potential co-op in Pistol Whip there? That's what I got from it when I was reacting to it. That's what I saw straight away. I was like, is this co-op?
Wow, I did not pick up on that one. That would be something special. Maybe taking a page out of Beat Saber and Synth Rider's book there.
Yeah, that would be awesome. That would be fantastic. But I don't know. I feel like they would have announced that because it would have been a get hype moment. But maybe it was a heavy hint. But yeah, so yeah, Pistol Whip comes out this summer. I'm excited for it because have you played the 2089 DLC? Did you play the story mode?
Yeah, I have.
Yeah,
I definitely enjoyed it.
I just finished it yesterday actually, and it's phenomenal. It just got better and better. So yeah, I'm super excited. Do you have anything else to add on this apart from you're just excited?
No more to add for Pistol Whip. Just looking forward to it. I gotta get back into it. I've been waiting for one of my friends to 3D print me a pistol grip because it would just be perfect for this game. Yeah.
Yeah, I saw Mike from VR Oasis actually have a video maybe about a month or so ago where he had this pistol where it had some sort of hydraulics onto it, so you get the feedback when you shoot. He did say there was a lot of flaws to it, with being very heavy and such, so it's probably not as good as we think it is just yet, but still, that would be cool. I've always wanted that. Like the feedback from the controllers is good, but to have that haptic feedback is something even better. So with that, let's get into the next game, which is one game that I haven't played yet, but I'm super interested into it now, and that's Warhammer Battle Sister. And once again, if you saw my reactions to that, I was so surprised what that game was. The first person shooter looked fantastic.
Yeah, so I remember reading when this game first came out, it did not come out to rave reviews, and so I just sort of never looked at it again. But it looked really good in that showcase. I feel like a lot of that footage, if not all of it, must have been from the Rift or the PC VR. And I've noticed it in the Oculus Store, at least on my phone app. I've looked and it says like single player horde mode, and so I'm not sure where or when the co-op horde mode is coming to the Quest, but I'll have my eye out for it for sure.
Yeah, you're right. I remember her saying that it's the Warhammer Battle Sisters out on the Rift from the day of the event, but I don't think she mentioned when the actual co-op's coming. I thought she also mentioned the same day, but maybe not, or maybe they've just not updated their description or anything. It's kind of a weird one, but yeah, what I was so excited about it was the co-op play. As soon as she said co-op, it's also cross-play and cross-buy if you do have a PC VR headset as well that you want to play. And cross-play is awesome. It's always awesome for every single game. But yeah, I think that'll be fun. Co-op mode. Once again, I think VR is going to be all about co-op. That's the best part. So it's definitely made me want to get my hands into that game, like get myself into that game. Now, Samson, did you say that you've played this before or not?
No, I've not played it. Like I said, upon release, it didn't get really great reviews, so I just stayed away. But co-op always intrigues me, and a co-op horde mode for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
As mentioned in the predictions about Walking Dead.
Yeah, definitely. And I just want to say, like, if anyone has played it, feel free to let us know. You can always email the show. I'll put the email in the description below, so you can send any questions, or just let us know your thoughts on games like Warhammer or even Pistol Whip, because we're always intrigued to see what other people's perspectives are in these games. And with that, we got the one that everyone knew was coming. I know a few people predicted it, even though Lone Echo, the developers, already said it was going to come. But yeah, Lone Echo 2 finally, with a release date, finally, I guess. They had a release date before and it got pushed. You know what? I was disappointed that my prediction of having Lone Echo 1 ported to the Quest did not come true. And also, it's on Rift. It's on Rift. It's not on the Quest 2, where I feel like a few people were probably expecting it because of the delays that they had. And the Rift platform being like just disappearing now. But it is such a beautiful game, as we did see. And there we go. Lone Echo 2 is out this summer.
Yeah, honestly, I felt like expecting Lone Echo or 2 or 1 to be ported to just a standalone. That's high expectations. Those games are pretty demanding, I think. And I mean, I'm looking forward to playing it. I'll definitely play this one on PC VR.
Hmm. Yeah, I think I will play it. It's just that because it's on PC VR, I think I'll have less of an inclination to play it. I still will because it's going to be the standout game. But I always feel like that. Now that we're so spoiled by having a completely wireless system, you know. But AirLink is here now as well, you know, and Virtual Desktop has got 120 hertz as well. I just need to get a good router to actually get these games streaming well. Do you use any wireless systems, or do you use the
Yeah,
Oculus Link?
I use a Virtual Desktop, and oftentimes I'm streaming my Shadow PC. So I'm like streaming my Shadow PC and then streaming that via Virtual Desktop, and it works. It works pretty well. I mean, I'm not playing like first-person shooters. I mostly play VR chat. I played some Star Wars Squadrons, and I played Half-Life as well. And they work.
Oh
It
man,
works pretty well. Yeah.
nice. Do you have like did you buy a special router for it, or did?
I do have a Wi-Fi 6 router.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Um, yeah.
Okay. Because I think that's what I need too. I did put in my 120 hertz video with the V28 update. A lot of people in the comments said that you don't need a Wi-Fi 6, so I may need to research that a little more. But I think something like that is essential. I'm still on my network. If anyone in Canada is listening to this, I'm on the TELUS standard box, so it's terrible. So I feel like I need to upgrade before I get on Airlink. But I think if I can get Airlink to work well, or even virtual desktop to work well, I think definitely, without a shadow of a doubt, I'll be jumping into Lone Echo 2. But you know what? I was a little disappointed because of everything we've been waiting for Lone Echo 2. They only gave us like a little bit of it, and it's more of a teaser than anything. Like I expected, we'll get into next with Resident Evil. I expected something like that, where they'll give us the majority of the show is going to be and they're going to break down the mechanics. They're going to break down what's changed, what's upgraded. I thought it was going to be a bit more, but it wasn't. It was like I think they spent maybe 30 seconds on it, maybe 45, and then we were on to Resident Evil. So yeah.
Yeah, it was definitely pretty short, but it didn't get pushed, so
yeah, for now.
It's got that release date, yeah.
for now. Well, one game that definitely got all of its attention, and I'm quite disappointed actually that, well, we're going to talk about Resident Evil 4, but the reason why I was quite disappointed with it was because that it was already announced at Capcom's event a few days ago, which I feel like if it wasn't, this would be a bigger splash. Like everyone would be hyped up, going crazy, but because we already knew about it, the hype was disappeared, and then it was still nice to see because they did a lot to the game. You can see with they had to remap the game. They couldn't just. This is not just standard port. I know that Resident Evil's on everything but a kitchen sink, but this is not just throwing that in. They had to change everything, including how the puzzles work or how the inventory system worked, and even they changed the movement options. So. They put a lot of effort in, and it was good to see in the showcase. They did have a lot of time dedicated, but I think a lot of people would have felt differently about this event if it wasn't teased at Capcom just before.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, they definitely, let the cat out of the bag, so to say. They did show a lot more footage of it, at least more footage than I had seen, and it looks pretty good. I've never played Resident Evil 4, but I think I'll be checking it out in VR.
Yeah, me too. I think it's listeners, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's like a 14-hour plus game as well. So this could be the biggest game on Quest 2.
Yeah, I've heard somebody said, 15 hours plus. So it'll definitely be one of the longest ones on it.
Yeah, I think Walking Dead is around 10 hours or so. So this will probably be the biggest, or one of the biggest, definitely. Samson, can you remember the movement options that they discussed? Like they got smooth motion, like normal. Then they've also got this odd teleportation system, which I know it's like odd because it is just teleportation, but I just thought it was odd because you teleport and then you'll see Leon move, which didn't look good to me.
Yeah, it sort of goes into quick third-person moments. Mm-hmm. It seemed like getting as many locomotion options in it was very important, and just making sure everybody felt comfortable playing this game.
Yeah, you're right. I think you said it right on the predictions episode that a lot of people are going to buy the Quest 2 because of this game. People have so much nostalgia for this game, and to play it in a completely different, new way is probably going to make the game feel completely new to them. And a lot of people are going to buy it. And like we were discussing before the show, actually, that if you're gonna put someone in VR for the first ever time, if you give them a game or you give them an experience that gives them like high motion sickness or claustrophobia, they may never pick up VR again. So it's important more than ever to have these locomotion options, like all these different movement options, without a doubt.
Definitely. Yeah, if it's your first time ever in VR and you're going into Resident Evil 4, I probably would recommend trying teleport first.
Yeah, I would agree. They have got seated mode as well, just to add that finally, which I think is great because it is 14 hours long. Like standing up for that long is a long time. But yeah, so yeah, that's everything for me on Resident Evil 4. One more thing actually, it's out later this year. So my prediction of being out like soon, like real soon, within the next couple of months, was straight out the window. I'm surprised actually in a way that I was later this year.
Yeah, it sounds like a Halloween.
Yeah, you were right. Yeah, that's exactly what you're saying. It sounds like a Halloween game, and once again, it's gonna sell systems. It's gonna sell
Yeah.
systems. Yeah, awesome. So that's Resident Evil 4, which for a lot of people was the standout game. We're gonna head to a game now that people were kind of impartial on because of the way it released, and that's Star Wars: Tales of the Galaxy's Edge. It's funny how I can't remember her name, the presenter. I think it was Ruth, but it was kind of funny how she even mentioned that this was part one and they're working hard on part two. Where when the game came out, they didn't mention anything about part one, part two until you got a bit of uproar. It was kind of funny to see, but another one that was disappointing for me because she just mentioned that it's going to feature two tales. It's going to feature Doc Ondor. If Ondor, wait, I'm a Star Wars fan, but I'm not so much into the lore, so I don't really know much about him. The character model looked awesome, but they just said later this year. Nothing really. They're just working hard on it. It was like one of those things that yeah, it's still happening. It's still happening.
Yeah, there wasn't even much gameplay footage, if any, that I can remember.
Nothing.
Just mentioning the stock, who I think is related to the theme parks. If I feel like I've
Right.
heard that since.
I mean, also Tales from the Galaxy's Edge. That's also the theme park's name, right? Galaxy's Edge.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
So it kind of makes sense, but you know, it was one of those games where another one that wasn't announced, and we'll discuss later with Jurassic World Aftermath, where I kind of reluctant to get into until that second part comes in, so I can play it in one. Because I really enjoyed playing Vader Immortal, like all three, because they were short experiences, but to play all three felt really satisfying. And it's the same with this one. I kind of want to just wait.
Yeah, I've been waiting on this one for sure. And I'm hoping when part two drops, they'll do something like what The Climb did, where they packaged them together.
Yeah,
And maybe don't discount the second one, but discount the first one, that type of deal.
I agree, and I got a feeling that it's going to come out at Christmas. I think this is a Christmas game, which is going to upset lots
Yeah,
of people who bought the game last Christmas, last November. But once again, it's a system seller. They had the Quest 2s with this game on the box. You know,
yeah,
no part one shown. You know?
yeah, right.
So I think this one's going to wait till Christmas time, and might be the same with Jurassic World, but we'll get to that a bit later on. Star Wars Pinball was next. Samson, is this one for you?
So I will 100% be buying this one.
I thought so. I
And
thought so.
yeah, so I played the Pinball FX2, I believe, and I was surprised how much I enjoyed it. I have not even played all the tables. I got super into the Back to the Future table, played a little bit of the Jaws table, and a little bit of the Walking Dead table. But mostly just loved the Back to the Future table.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping that that same like nostalgia feel I got from those, that will transfer over. And I don't think that the FX2 game is really optimized for the Quest 2. And so I'm looking forward to this like next gen pinball game finally.
Would you say that are you a big Star Wars fan?
Yeah, I'm a pretty big Star Wars fan, and pretty recently I've done some work for somebody who was very into pinball, and so he owned a few pinball machines at his home, and I really like learned the sort of the deeper aspects to pinball, like
Yeah.
just more of the strategy to it, yeah. And
Right.
I've really enjoyed it, so I'm looking forward to trying that one out on Thursday, I
And
think.
yeah, I was about to say. I'm pretty sure it comes out this week. I think it might
Yeah.
be in a few days after as we're recording this. But to be honest, like once again, I like Star Wars. Don't get me wrong. But to me, when I first saw this, I was like, yeah, I'm not really whatever, cool. But as I think about it more and more, I feel like this could be a ridiculously relaxing game to just like say like today, come home from work, just like oh I'm tired, I just want to sit down and just play a bit of pinball or something. and mess around with the memorabilia and just like completely nerd out because why not, you know? You know, it's one of those times. You're like, hey, who cares, right? Um, I don't know if I'd pick it up this week. I'm interested to see your thoughts on it, and maybe the next episode we can discuss if you do get it, what your thoughts are on that one. But I was actually impressed, and they spent a long time on this game as well. I don't know if you remember, but big chunk.
It looks good too. It looks good,
Yeah.
like graphically.
Oh yeah, graphically it looked awesome with the character models as well, and they also had like mini games, like a little bit of like the dojo from Immortal. I saw with some bit of lightsaber duels. I don't know how in depth that's going to be, but I think I mentioned it in the Reacts video where I don't know if they're going to have this, but I'm hoping that they have some sort of multiplayer aspect to the game where you could like just go visit other people's rooms. Like maybe not you can play pinball against each other or something, but maybe you could just visit some of those rooms, and maybe that could be like a hangout spot, you know? Something like Big Screen where they have like a couple of rooms that you can just hang out, or like VR chat and such. I think that would be a cool aspect to it, or at least be like a showcase that you can dive into and you can see other people's rooms. You don't see them, but you just see theirs.
Right.
So you can get like a little inspiration. You go, oh, cool, this guy has this guy has that. I feel like it'll make it even better then, because then you can show off your cool-ass room that you've built.
Yeah, maybe like some sort of way to post them online, and then you can sort of explore all of the cool ones.
Yeah, 100%. Rather than it just be just for you, I think it would be cool to share that.
Right.
Especially with fellow fans, especially, you know. I think I think that'd be good fun.
I feel like I'll have to get one of my friends to get it just so he can compete on the leaderboards. If there are leaderboards, I actually don't know, but I assume there will be.
Yeah, there's got to be some. There must be some pinball leaderboards. Must be, right? Must be. But yeah, that comes out this week. So I guess next episode we'll probably talk about it because I'm sure you're buying it. Or I can already see it on your face.
I'll try it for sure.
Already put the pre-order in.
Yeah, it's on the wish list.
All right. Okay, so the next one is I Expect You to Die 2, which is something that no one predicted in our predictions episode, and nothing that I heard about. I've always looked at this game. I've not played the first one, but I've always looked at this game thinking this could be good fun. And I think it's the same with like games like Job Simulator, Vacation Simulator, where I was like, these games could be good fun, but I never actually get around to playing them. You know, never actually pull the trigger on them. Have you played I Expect You to Die?
So I've not played this one yet. It has been sitting in my library. I think I got it in like that big Black Friday deal that I bought. But yeah, it's been sitting there. I've read that it's good. Maybe now I've got a deadline, right? I got to play it before the second one comes out. So that I can guarantee that'll happen, but I don't know when I'll get to it.
Yeah, the little teaser trailer that they showed did look cool. It did look fun. I mean, so did the first one, to be honest. But maybe this is the time where I finally do pull the trigger. I actually haven't wrote down the release date on this one, but I'm assuming they said summer. But I thought they just said 2021, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't recall, but I want to say that they just said summer or like later 2021 for all of them. I don't remember getting a single date.
We did get it for one, but we'll talk about that later. But yeah, I Expect You to Die well, hopefully this one's going to be the one that I jump into because it does look like fun to play. But yeah, that's everything I have on I Expect You to Die, to be honest.
Yeah, it also I'll say that it kind of looks like a fun game to potentially play with like other people, like casting it to the TV. Other people can watch and like sort of help you through the puzzles potentially. Says yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Now, so we have the next one is our surprise of the show. It's the one that they teased at the start of the show, saying something nostalgia, and I don't think anyone was expecting a snowboarding game, but here we have. The creator of 1080 Snowboarding is back with Carve Snowboarding, and not gonna lie, I freaking loved that. When I saw it, I was like, this looks like exactly what I wanted.
Yeah, it definitely looks cool. I don't know how I feel about like moving with your arms, with your feet, that type of deal. But I've seen a few. I think there's a game in beta or alpha, like Skate VR.
Hmm.
And I've been seeing a few videos for that, and I imagine it's semi-similar. And the reviewers of that seem to really enjoy it, so it definitely looks super cool. And yeah, I I love arcadey snowboarding games.
Yeah, 100%. I think I'm interested to see how the mechanics are. Because recently I played Powder VR for the channel, and even though that game was, I mean, it was still in like pre-alpha. The visuals weren't the best at all by any stretch, and it was very taxing on your PC VR because it was a PC VR system game. Um, they nailed the mechanics in that game. They nailed it. It felt very good. Like as you were going down the mountain, you get the rush of adrenaline. It was interesting how they incorporated turning involved. Like you had to move your hand left to right, but not like exaggerating as I'm doing now, like looking like a zombie left to right. But you can have your controller attached to your belt buckle if you wanted to, and you can move your hips, and it will also track it. And surprisingly, it works pretty well. Um, there was a few crashes and glitches in that game because it wasn't ready yet, but still when it did work, it worked so well. So I'm interested to see what the mechanics of this game are. Is it going to be similar to Powder VR? I remember Powder VR got an actual professional snowboarder in. I don't remember his name, but you got like someone in to test the physics and to see if it's actually going to be good, and I think that helped a lot. But I have faith in this one because it's from the creators from 1080 Snowboarding, and 1080 snowboarding is like a cult classic amongst the gamers. That with Cool Borders, and I think SSX Tricky was also up there with a lot of people. So yeah, it looked really nice too. It visually looked really good.
Yeah, definitely. I'm looking forward to it. This one, did they say summer 21?
I don't know, you
I'm
just
not sure.
assume summer or later this year, but they actually
Yeah.
didn't have a release date in the event, but 2 days ago
Okay.
from recording, they actually announced it on Twitter that it's coming summertime.
Okay.
Which I'm not sure why they didn't put that in the event, but I guess they were like, "Oh, I don't know," and everyone's asking, "Okay, yeah, summer, go." Like, summer's gonna be packed.
They're hoping to release it in the summer, you know.
Yeah, they're hoping. I'm really looking forward to this. I want to see. I want to see what else they do with this game, in terms of like the arcadiness feel of it. But yeah, so that's Carve Snowboarding. One of the biggest surprises. Now my highlight of the show is the next one, and that's After the Fall. After the Fall, we already kind of knew about before the event, and we knew that was pretty much coming. But my God, once again, that trailer looks great. Looks awesome.
It does. It looks freaking sweet. Although I did have to, we chatted a little bit, and like it's like how is this going to be crossplay? And it was all PC VR, all the footage for sure.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, it looks amazing. Can't go wrong with 4-player co-op.
Four-player co-op, and actually, I don't know if this was already known, but it's coming on the Quest as well. I thought it was just PC VR, to be honest, but I must have got that wrong, and I was beyond excited when I heard that it was actually coming to the Quest. I think this is going to be one of the top games if it can run well, and play well as we're expecting. I think this might be one of the standouts of the year. It did have a release date of 2020 last year, so. Now it's 2021, summer 2021, like every single other game. But yeah, I don't know how much I could say about this apart from that I'm just super excited, and I think that this is going to be one fantastic game in co-op. It looks like Left 4 Dead, basically, but this could
Yeah,
be the
that's exactly
VR's
what it looks like.
this could be the VR's version of Left 4 Dead, and if it delivers like that, then fantastic. And I believe it's crossplay as well with PC VR players, so it's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, I'm cautious about that, but that's what they say. That's what they say.
Yeah, that's what they say. Actually, I don't mind if the visuals take a bit of a hit. It's like Walking Dead. Walking Dead, which we'll talk about later. It doesn't look nowhere near as good as the PC VR counterparts, and so is something like Gorn as well. But if the gameplay's solid, I don't think people are gonna mind. I don't think people are
Right.
gonna mind. Yeah, so that's the summer. Now, the next one was Wraith the Oblivion, which did come out last week as well. I was, to be honest, I know that they said they were going to be in the show, but I was surprised that it was, to be honest, because I was like, this game's coming out tomorrow, and you've been hyping it up so much. I feel like my whole Twitter feed and all the big VR YouTubers as well have all posted so much about it that like everyone kind of knows it's coming. I was surprised that they would have given it time in this event. They could have probably put more time into Lone Echo and Star Wars than this one. But what do you think about this one?
Yeah, I completely agree. I was almost like, is this the same game that's coming out tomorrow that I've seen like 1,000,001 videos for? Um, I mean, the game looks like it looks pretty decent. Not my cup of tea. I can't really deal with horror in VR, especially puzzle horror, because I'm like way too afraid of anything to think about any puzzles.
I've been
Um,
there. I've been there.
yeah, but the game looks good, and now it's been out for five days, 6 days almost. Yeah.
It actually kind of reminded me of a moment that I had during lockdown started, I decided to jump into Resident Evil 2 on the PS4, and I've never played that game before, and I don't, you've probably not played that one either, right? Yeah, so with Resident Evil 4, or Resident Evil 2, sorry, once you get into the game a bit, there's this big-ass monster character called Mr. X, and as soon as he arrives, he's throughout the whole game pretty much, and you just, like, if you're running across, say you're on the other side of the mansion, always hear his footsteps throughout the whole time. And it's terrifying. And the thing is, if you go into a room and you're like, okay, I need to do this, like, there's a clock puzzle, for example, and you hear his footsteps get louder and louder and louder, you kind of want to run up and hide, and then you hear him open the door, look around, and hoping he doesn't see you or come up the stairs, and then he'll leave, and then he'll continue walking. But you know what the freakiest thing about the game? Because I read about it. Because someone, like, dived into Resident Evil 2 and had a look at the code and such. He doesn't spawn anywhere. Like, there's a couple moments where he does spawn when there's, like, cutscene type moments. But throughout the
It's all
game,
just sound.
he didn't. No. He's like literally walking around. He's like actually around. Like it's not like he's just spawning randomly at places. It's
Wow.
pretty freaky. I remember being on like PlayStation chat with one of my friends who was playing a different game, and all of a sudden I just started screaming. He's like, "What's up, Dan?" I was like, "I can't talk to you right now. I need to concentrate. I'm literally sweating buckets right here, with Mr. X." So I know what you mean when it comes to puzzle and horror, and it's the sense of someone might be behind you and you can kind of hear them. And imagine if you're playing that game with a B haptics vest.
Yeah, exactly.
Forget about it. But to be honest, this game though, let's give it the credit in a way because I did see the reviews for it and a lot of 9 out of 10s. A lot of 9 out of 10s. It looks like a great game. I did reach out for a code and they said you got to meet the requirements, and I didn't have average of 3,000 views per video, and I was like, damn. But to be honest, I actually just got a code for Cosmo Dread, which is another VR horror that
Also
came
looks
out
scary.
a month ago, and I've only just started playing that one, and that's scary as hell because it's procedurally generated every section, and
You
yeah,
gotta look out for spiders.
there's spiders in that one.
Maybe some robot spiders. I don't know. It's all procedurally generated.
Oh crap. I'm now like, oh my days, I don't kind of know want to go into it. But I'm trying to like, I did message them. I said I'll try and get a review out for the channel at some point. But yeah, I just got to get the muscle to play that game, to be honest, to get through it. But yeah, anyway, so that was Wraith. Like more of the same. I don't think we need to discuss more, to be honest. The next one was a cool one, I thought. The Climb 2 Freestyle DLC, which is free, and it came out that week that the conference was out. In part 1, there's 2 parts to it. I think the second part included like some rhythm-based climbing as well, which I really liked. And just before this podcast, actually, I rewatched that little bit, and dude, that looks really fun. And now I haven't got Climb 2. I don't have it, but yeah, it looks really fun to play.
It definitely looks fun. I only have the Climb 1. I pop into it every once in a while. I use it as a game to when I'm showing people their first time in VR sometimes. It's one of the top 5 games I'll go to for that. But yeah, I don't know how I feel about climbing to rhythm. I mean, and getting like, you really got to like kind of get into it, huh?
Yeah, yeah,
I'm not that great at the game, honestly. I don't know if I'd be able to handle it. But the game is beautiful. Um,
yeah.
so I love all the worlds, and I think they said that they're going to be releasing like a few new ones too further down the road.
Yeah, well,
Probably also be free.
they did split this one into two parts, so we will have a second one at some point. I don't think they said when, but I actually love that they did it for free as well because I saw when the Climb 2 came out because I didn't play Climb 1 and I was like I know this game looks like the one that people buy alongside Beat Saber for VR, but I was like I might as well wait for Climb 2. But when I saw the reviews, people did just say it was more like just Climb 1 DLC. So I think this one starts to like differentiate it a little bit. I honestly, I really liked it. I really liked what it looked like, and I would be tempted to jump into that one. Plus, come on, what do you mean? I know you're bad at climbing, say, but come on, Synth Riders champion. I see your Synth Rider scores. This guy plays on expert or whatever the master difficulty, and destroys it. Destroys it. If you ever
Only
go on
synth riders. Only synth riders.
go on Samson's YouTube channel, Spreading VR, and you can see him just murder these Synth Riders courses. And then me, I get to hard, and I get, oh yeah, this puts a little bit of sweat on. So I'm
To
pretty
each their
sure.
own. To each their own. It's pistol whip though. You got to be better than me at pistol whip. I just enjoy it not for the scores. It's just a fun workout, that one.
I do, yeah. Pistol Whip, I play every day. It's one of those. It's like you love Synth Riders. It's exactly the same. But yeah, I feel like the rhythm bass could be good, and I think I will dive into that at some point once I get through a bit of a catalog of games. I know you have a ridiculous catalog of games. For the viewers and listeners out there, Samson, he's one of those who just like buys lots of games and doesn't really play them. He gets to it eventually.
Yeah, I'm definitely what you might call a game hoarder. I play like a core 5 to 6 games, and then I keep buying the other games, and I'll play them every once in a while, but I always just keep returning to the same games.
All I can say is thank God you have a 256 gigabyte Quest. Otherwise, you would have
Yeah,
regretted
definitely
that
necessary.
quickly.
Yeah.
All right, and then the last one from the show, which was what everyone expected: The Walking Dead Saints and Sinners to show up, but not the co-op mode that everyone predicted and wanted to see. It's actually a story mode. It's additional story mode, and you can only play it after you've completed the game as well. Is what I saw, and it's for free, which I freaking love. Like it for free is awesome. It's called Aftershocks, and it's out on May 20th. So like the one game that we actually had a concrete release date in the future, May 20th.
Wow, right around the corner too.
Yeah.
Um, well, I got to be honest. I don't think I'm going to be playing this, especially since you have to beat the whole game in order to be able to play it. It did look cool, and I know this is a very popular game, and this will be a very popular DLC. Um, but like we mentioned, I was really hoping for co-op. I know that the developers said that that's like gonna be very challenging, but
Mm.
I hope it's in the future plans.
I feel like this is something is challenging. I'm not expecting a co-op story mode, but the co-op trial mode, like we discussed in the predictions episode, I feel like it just really needs it. Like that's the one that we all want to see. It's like Warhammer. That co-op mode is a horde mode as well. That is a horde mode, and it's similar like trials. So I feel like they might be able to pull it off. If Warhammer can, maybe they can. I don't know how the game works. Obviously, I'm not a developer, so I don't know how that actually works in particular. But yeah, it looks really good to me. Another Easter egg that I could be completely way off at was when I was watching it live when I saw the trailer, it looked like there was like 4 different characters and 4 different stories. I don't know if there was 4 different voices in there. There was definitely different voices. And I was wondering could it either be that it would be some sort of DLC where it's like you have maybe say 4 missions and one mission is somebody's story, another mission is someone else's story. The Walking Dead actually the Telltale one had that, after the main story, the DLC had that similar thing where one episode you'll follow someone, second episode you'll follow someone else. They had that in their DLC, so I wonder if it's like that. Also, I was like, maybe it is co-op mode. Maybe it's 4 different players, but I feel like co-op mode is not coming to this one for a while.
Not.
Yeah, for a while. But yeah, look good. May 20th, and I'll definitely be picking up, but I don't think I'll be able to finish Walking Dead by that time because there's too many damn things to play.
That's for sure.
Yeah. So yeah, that was the event. That was the event as whole. So a lot of good announcements to see. I thought it was solid because this was their first ever time, and I'm wondering how often they're going to release these. Is it going to be a monthly or bi-monthly type affair? Because I know that's what PlayStation tried to do with their State of Play. They kind of did that for a few months and then just stopped. And Nintendo Direct as well. It used to come out all the time, like once a month, or like, when's the Direct going to be? And now they've also stopped it, kind of. So, yeah, I guess so. Probably no way. They don't have enough content.
I mean, I feel like, yeah. I mean, there's so much time in developing a VR game, right? And so we're not going to know that much more next month than we know this month. Yeah. I mean, I feel like our best bet is maybe quarterly, maybe biannually, whatever the proper word for that is. Oh, I do want to say though, it didn't happen at the showcase, but a few days later, the Facebook avatars.
Yeah.
They updated the avatars.
Yeah.
So it was my prediction. It didn't happen at the event, but within a week it happened.
You count it. It was in the event's release window.
Yeah, exactly.
Which also looked fantastic, by the way. I saw Ryan from ProPut post about it, where you can now put them in ProPut as well, and I was like, this is great. This is fantastic. They look really good because my avatar on big screen looks terrible.
Yeah, I haven't messed around much with the Facebook avatars, but I got to get into it. Got to get them somehow implemented into Walkabout.
Yeah, definitely, because Walkabout doesn't have any avatars at all. But I'm pretty sure ProPut didn't have any avatars before either. I think it was just a hat, and as far as I can remember playing online. So now they've got it in, they probably would incorporate it in. That'd be great to have your avatars in all the games. This would be like the Miis from the Nintendo Wii era, right? They're in every single game. You can play as yourself. I think it's a great idea, especially because it's the social aspect. Obviously, I don't expect playing as my avatar in After the Fall in a horde mode like that, But like any of these other friendly games, you could even say the same with Beat Saber, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think Synth Riders. I read that Synth Riders will be incorporating them in, so I'm not sure exactly how that will take place.
Yeah, that'll be good to see. That'll be good to see. So yeah, so that was the event as whole. There's a few things missing, right? We had a lot of predictions in our predictions episode. Some like completely wild, and some that we thought actually no, that kind of makes sense, but just never showed up. And one of mine was Sniper Elite VR. We heard about that game at the Oculus event when the Oculus 2 was released or was shown off in September. Yet nothing, not even a peep from the developers. Where is that game, Samson? Where is it?
They must be having a lot of trouble. Who is the developer on that? We got to give him like a follow on Twitter or something,
I actually can't remember on the top of my head. I'll have to look that one up. But nothing's seen. And I mean, that is a big console game. It's a big PlayStation, Xbox game. So is Assassin's Creed and Splinter Cell. We didn't see anything from them. But to be honest, I didn't think so. I thought that was a Ubisoft E3 press conference type showing. They even did it with when they had Mario and Rabbids for the Nintendo Switch. They even had that on the Ubisoft one first because it's Ubisoft. So that's what my thinking was, but we didn't see that one. Obviously, didn't see the Walking Dead co-op like a lot of people have predicted. I also believe the developers who made Bonework, which is Level 4, I want to say, is the developer's name. Oh, maybe that was the game that they announced for Oculus about a year or so ago. Still nothing on that as well. Yeah, few things missing. Oh, Jurassic World Aftermath, as we spoke about earlier. No word on a part 2. Once again, it's one of those ones that...
Yeah, that was surprising.
That was surprising, right? I thought they were going to pair up Star Wars and Jurassic at the same time, to be honest.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah, but do you think anything else that you think they were missing from that conference?
Not that I can really think of. I think we hit it all. Yeah. I mean, I threw out the Medal of Honor multiplayer, but, that was high aspirations.
The thing is, they did talk about Medal of Honor when the game came out back in start of December, where they said they were questioning, is an Oculus Quest version kind of coming out, and they said they're going to release it first and then work on it. So I think they still are working on it. That game had a lot of problems at launch. So... like the high-end PCs was even struggling to run it. For some reason, I magically ran it on a Mac. I don't know what witchcraft I have right here, but like, if anyone's seen that video, I have got a video on my channel about me magically running it on a Mac perfectly fine in high settings. But I was one of the lucky ones. But yeah, they had a lot of bad stuff at launch, so I don't know if it's gonna come. I feel like they're probably gonna focus more. By the way, shout out to them because they won an Oscar. On the Oscars on Sunday for the documentary.
Short, right?
Yeah. So first VR, I just remember seeing Respawn and Oculus at the bottom. I was like, holy crap, they won an Oscar. It's pretty mad. That is probably, by the way, I don't know if you've played that, Samson, but the documentary series on there is beautiful. It's so good. You had to originally, when the game came out, you had to unlock it after playing each mission, but now they just you can just watch the whole thing, and it's really good. I wish they it's isolated on VR. I wish they actually brought it to 2D and put it on something on Netflix so more people could experience it, because hearing those people's stories is fascinating. It's so fascinating. It's a shame that it's just on VR, but hopefully they bring it out soon eventually.
Yeah, I haven't played that one yet. I thought about it, picking it up on the last sale, but I'll wait for the next one. It'll eventually come back on sale.
Yeah, and I think if you've got that war VR like itch, I feel like just wait for Sniper Elite at this point, because that's gonna run well. I feel like, and it's gonna be on Quest only. So, well, after our breakdown, Samson, do you think does that change your opinion at all on how the event was? A little bit better feeling about it, or still? Yeah, it's all right.
I mean, I really, after I took, a breath and, a few hours afterwards or the morning after, I felt better about it on the whole. I'm still not, ecstatic, but as their first go at it, it was pretty good. It was, I wish there was, maybe one extra title that Carve that was just from left field, oh my god, I had no idea anything about that. That and no release dates is a little frustrating. Give me those breadcrumbs at the end. I don't know.
Yeah,
but yeah. On that, I overall I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah, I thought solid. I got a few messages from other VR YouTubers or people in the VR space who gave their predictions. I remember Matteo 311 sent me a message on wait, let me just get it up because it was kind of hilarious. He sent me a message on Twitter and he didn't respond. All he said was, "What a crappy event," and that was it. And then I sent him a long message where I was like, yeah, I guess some parts, but I thought it was so blah, blah, blah. He had no response, nothing else. It doesn't sound like he was too happy with what happened.
Yeah.
I think he was expecting big things, but yeah, overall, I still think it was a solid event. But to all the viewers and listeners out there, it'll be interesting to see what your thoughts are on the event and what you're really anticipating as well. Like I said, throw things in the comments of the YouTube video. Feel free to send us questions as well. What I really want to do with this show is to make it more like a viewer-centric show. Some viewer and listener interaction involved as much as possible. So send in your questions, put it even on the comments in the video, and I'll check them. If you're on Patreon, put it on Patreon, or just send me an email to playtestcantona@gmail.com. It will be in the description. So yeah, and then we'll turn this podcast into more of like the fans podcast, and hopefully one day we can get some of the VR guests on there and some of you guys on the podcast to talk about VR, because you know this thing is going to get mainstream eventually, and it's up to people like us to like push it into that.
Oh yeah, it's on its way to the moon.
Yeah, VR to the moon. But sweet. So I think that's all from us, right? Samson, anything else to add before we sign off?
That's all for me. Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah, beautiful. So once again, thanks a lot for watching, and thanks for listening to the people on the podcasts. And we'll see you potentially next week. We'll talk about it. We'll see what our schedule of our podcast. We want to get this out more regularly, because I think it'd be good fun too. Definitely.
Yeah, I mean, news is always dropping.
Exactly, especially with the Oculus. They're pumping out news and updates like no man's land. Definitely. Awesome. Well, thanks a lot. I hope you guys enjoyed that one, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace out.
See you next time.